Hi, I'm actually making a second video in 2 weeks, so that's a big deal. I'm talking from my parlor in my house, and it's more comfortable, and it's freezing outside and raining, and it's just disgusting. So I thought I would feel better in here because this one's going to be a little bit longer. I have some health issues that I'm just going to get out there because it's not terrible to me, but a lot of people are like freaking out, like I'm going to drop dead, which I could if I was stupid. The problem is I have a kidney disease and I'm 60 years old, and all the things that have brought it to this is over 30 years of being a bodybuilder and eating high proteins and eating, large amounts of supplements like calcium, D3. And so what happens is when you overdose on stuff like that, your kidneys have to filter it. The crazy part about it is me, and along with the other fitness girls that I've talked to, we're all shocked because we're always thinking about our livers, and my liver's fine. Everything else in me is fine. It's just that the kidneys have to filter everything out. And so I ended up in the hospital for 4 days, having an IV of fluids, and all these doctors coming in and checking my urea and blood, and it was just crazy. And it was overwhelming because first they tell me I'm going to have to go on dialysis, then you're eventually going to have to get a kidney transplant. And I'm thinking bullshit because I couldn't exist on that kind of a lifestyle. And I've talked to a lot of people that have had people that they know that are on dialysis, and eventually your veins just can't take it anymore. And if you don't have a kidney, you drop dead anyway. So they released me after 4 days, even though I'm at a stage 5, which is the worst. And you can come sit. You want to come in here and sit? And so what's happening is he let me go, and we're going to try to fix this with diet. She's got to be in the picture with me every time. So he had me get these cookbooks, and with the cookbooks, it's all food I wouldn't eat anyway. So this whole situation has just come, it's because of my ignorance, and like everybody else who likes to lift weights and build muscle, we're eating way too much protein. And the culprit in the proteins is the nitrogen that you eat. So I got these cookbooks, and the cookbooks are, like I said, just terrible foods that I wouldn't eat anyway, how to make apple pies and chili and things like that, where I have to have a clean diet anyway. And so all these years of dieting as a bodybuilder, now I have to learn a whole new way of eating, which is tenfold restricted compared to what my contest diets were. So after this last year in 2020, when I competed, I decided I'm not going to compete ever again. I could eat whatever I want. And then when I tried to eat whatever I want, I got really sick. And that was, it's been going on for decades, but this eating like that is kind of what made it go over the top. And so I finally found this book called Stopping Kidney Disease. And this book has got, it just makes my jaw drop because everything in here makes so much sense, and it's things that we wouldn't even know. Like, I had no idea how many power lifters end up on dialysis because of the strain, the heavy lifting, the intense heavy lifting. Don't trip. The intense heavy lifting creates, stop. It creates the lactic acid and the toxins from the tearing of the tissues, and then that has to go through the kidneys, and that also is a toxin. I'm not making sense because I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but it just blows me away. So instead of looking at protein and carbohydrates and fats and all this stuff, there's things in here that I had no freaking clue that even existed, like GFRs and DOCs. And I also, instead of looking at the previous stuff I mentioned, I have to look at potassium, phosphorus, nitrogen, calcium. Everything has to be low so that I can clean out my kidneys. So this is going to be an ongoing thing. And the doctor, the specialist, the kidney specialist that's working with me and who let me go. And when I was in the hospital, I was at stage 4, which is, you know, people in not stage 4, but my kidneys are working at 4% capacity, whereas people that have 10 to 15% capacity are going on on dialysis. So he let me go because I'm drinking water and peeing, you know, and so everything's working. I'm not swollen. My skin isn't discolored. I still go up back and run in the woods. So something's weird there. And if anybody can do it, I know I can. And so they're giving me that opportunity. And the other thing that's helping me immensely is this PEMF therapy where I go to Pulse for Health in Monroe. And, you know, the other day I had like this itchy skin, which is a sign of the stuff not filtering and having toxins in me. I went in there and spent 2 hours on the bed, and now I feel like $1,000,000. So I'm going to continue to do the PEMF therapy as often as I can, and also use the photobiomodulation bed, which is the red light therapy bed. And we'll see what happens, and I'll just keep people posted on that. And I don't want to only discuss that kind of a thing because, you know, some people think of it as negative. I just think of it as another challenge because I've been challenged before, and I have always come out of it. So I'll do some cooking. My specialist even asked me if I would document the foods that I'm eating because he's curious as why my percentage is going up at this stage. So I'll be doing all that. I know this is jibber jabber because it's hard to explain. And the other thing too is, you know, just, I don't want anybody freaking out. I'm not ready to ask for a kidney yet. If it ends up that I have to, you know, I'll shout out the word and say, let's, you know, get a donor for me. But I really don't want to do that. I would really love to conquer this on my own. And, you know, like I said, I'm 60 years old. I've had a great life. And I think I can get myself to live a little bit longer. And until then, you know, I just do what I do. I exercise light now, and my diet is like super boring. And I make suits, and that's about it. That's where I'm going to leave it today. And I will continue once a week and explain certain things. But remember, if I'm doing this diet and I'm showing people what I'm eating, it's for kidney disease. It is not for bodybuilders. It is not for, you know, any other thing except kidney disease and staying alive. But I think that I would love to have anybody that's in my industry that competes in bodybuilding, figure, whatever, and they have these really strict diets and these high protein diets, something I never did. And I finally did, which is how we found out that I had this. I didn't like break down and go to the hospital. I had a blood test and a urine test. And my dear friend Joni Meyer, who's also at Pulse for Health, she has Proactive Center for Health. She bugged me about getting a blood test. And I finally did it. And then when the results came back, she was like, you need to go to the hospital immediately. So I wasn't, I was feeling punky, but I wasn't feeling like I was dying. And so that's what started all this. So I feel stupid because I haven't had a blood test or a urine test in, you know, I got to say decades, because I never get sick. And so since I would never get sick, I figured, what's the point? I feel great. So even though I felt great, I literally was dying inside from my kidneys. So it was just a mind-blowing thing. Anyway, that's where that's going. And I hope that I didn't bore you to death. And I'll get a little better as I go along, because I'm still learning. All this stuff is like just blowing me away. And this book is the best. And so my advice is go get a frickin' urine test and a blood test just to make sure you're okay, even if you're in their 30s. Because if you don't now, you're going to find out, like me in my age, that, you know, you're close to death anyway. So let's go ahead and do that. And for me and Silky here in my parlor, I bid you adieu.